Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about a watch that just literally came in today. This is a watch that's mine. I just picked up from one of Random Rob's sales, and from a guy named Doug. And this is my first entry into the higher end luxury type watches, if you will. This is really on the low end of that scale, but kind of above most everything else I have currently. I've shown some stuff recently that has been loaned in, the Vero engineering stuff, some of these Medford reconfiguration knives. Those are not mine, but this one's mine, and I do have some other loaned in stuff coming. Tomorrow I have a bunch of, well, I don't know, I've got several Benchmades coming in from a Benchmade dealer friend of mine. And then I did just get in today also some custom Todd Fisher Jr. knives that I will be showing here in a few days as well. That I was very fortunate to have a good buddy loan those to me. Wow, you'll see those coming up. But I wanted to talk about this Heuer Aquaracer 43. So this is a 43 millimeter automatic, and we'll just dive right into the specs so I don't get too confused here, because I'm still kind of honeymooning with this thing because I've had it for a few hours and I just took it off my wrist to film the video, and it'll go right back on until it's time to go to bed tonight. So the case size, it is a 43 millimeter watch, but the only place, if I measure the actual case, it's 44. The bezel is 43. Okay, well, whatever. That's the size. The lug to lug is 50 millimeter. So it's rather, it's a decent sized watch. Let's not get that mistaked. The lug width is like 21 and a little bit more, 21 and a half. It's a little tough to measure. And it tapers down to 18 on this H-Link bracelet. The overall thickness is 12.7 millimeters with a sapphire crystal. And this is the first watch I've had that has the Cyclops or date magnifier. And it's pretty cool. Try to do a close-up of that once we get through the rest of these. The movement is it's the caliber 5, is what Tag calls it. But it's an ETA 2824 or a Sellita movement that they then regulate or do some voodoo to. And I can't really confirm. They use both the Sellita and ETA movements. It just kind of depends on when exactly the watch was made. So it weighs in at 193 grams. And for you guys, I did the conversion to be 6.8 ounces. So it's a good size watch, and that's sized for my 7.25 inch wrist. Has 300 meter water resist, and its power reserve is 38 hours. So I wished it could have been a little longer. I kind of got spoiled with my Hamilton that's at 80 hours, but this is so nice that I will live with the 48 hour or 38 hour. I'm gonna throw it on wrist here to give you guys a wrist shot. Again, this is on my 7.25 inch wrist, and it really wears well. One of the beauties of getting a watch from Rob, for me anyway, is him and I have roughly the same size wrists. So before he shipped it, he asked if I wanted him to size it for me. And I said, sure, go ahead. Especially because this one uses a pin and collar system. So it's a little more difficult to size. It's not just screws. Take out the screw, pull out the link. There's a pin that goes into a collar. I should have pulled one out. I can pull one out here real quick. I know a lot of you guys have seen some of these that follow Rob's channel, but for you guys that are my knife buddies, you may not see that. So you can see here it has a pin and a collar. And once you put the pin into the collar, you push it all the way in and it locks in. There's like a little nub here in the center of the pin with a receptacle in the collar. And that goes there into kind of the middle here. The collar would be in this piece and the pin would go through the outside, through the collar and to the other side. So it's kind of a pain to set up, but once it's sized, it's not like you're sizing them very often. So once I size my stuff, it's pretty much a done deal. Worst case, you have some micro adjustments here where you can back this out a few little degrees at a time. This clasp also has a dive extension that you can wear, because it is a dive watch. That gives you some extra room to put it over a wetsuit if you are so inclined to do that. And this one works really well. So let's see, I can do a little close-up here. I'm gonna try it with the camera because this dial is just really stunning. So there you can see the date magnifier really well. And I love the pop of yellow at the top of the second hand. And then down in the bottom, where it says caliber 5 and 300 meter water resist, that's also in yellow. But just a beautiful blue dial and the blue ceramic 120 click bezel, which works really well. Has really good action, feels good. And lines up really well. Killer watch. It does hack and hand wind, so you can set the seconds. And just overall, a great watch. Fully milled clasp, and it's really comfortable. So it does have dual lume. I want to do a kind of size comparison before we get to lume shot. So here is my Seiko SKX custom build that Rob did for me. This is a 42 millimeter case, and this is a 43. Well, it's really a 44 millimeter case, but the dial or the bezel is 42 on both of them. So it's really interesting to me to see different sized watches look very similar, or similar sized watches look very different. So here's my Seiko Yellowfin Tuna, which is a 49 millimeter case, but it looks very similar in size, kind of to the tag. So it's just interesting to me to see different, just different sizes that are similar or similar sizes that look different. That's all. So anyway, let's get you a lume shot on this. The monster guy may kind of overpower, so we'll move him to the back. And let's see if the camera picks this up or not. I don't know. We'll see how well it works. So I'll try to bring it in a little closer here and see. So there you can see it's got the blue for most of the indices, and then at the 12, 3, 6, and 9, it's got the pop of green, and at the end of the hour and minute hands, it's got green also. Really nice lume. I think it works really great. To the naked eye, I think it's a little bit brighter. The camera, I think, downplays it a little bit. It's hard to kind of tell. But here it is compared to that SKX to kind of give you an idea of all the full green versus the bluish green. And while we have it out, next to the Tuna, which arguably, has the best lume out of any Seikos, is the Tunas. But the lume on this tag is bright, especially to the naked eye, and it's not really fading. So I'm very happy with this. So anyway, thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it. and we'll see you on the next one.